The natural world is a cornucopia of astonishing adaptations and strategies for survival. One such adaptation is venom. From frogs and toads to butterflies and beetles, there is no shortage of toxicity in the animal kingdom. But in today's video, we're not just talking about any venomous creatures. We're talking about the most dangerous ones that you definitely don't want to see in the wild. Let's look at 15 of the most dangerous and poisonous creatures in the world, starting with Number 15, Bruno's cask-headed frog. Well, we've seen a lot of frogs, but we swear to God we've never seen anything beautiful like this. Bruno's cask-headed frog, or as scientists name it, Apparis brunoi, is a tiny amphibian that takes look but don't touch to a whole new level. Unlike other poisonous frogs that just secrete toxins, this little guy injects venom straight into its enemies using spikes on its skull. Yeah, that's right. This frog stabs its way out of danger. In fact, its venom is estimated to be 25 times stronger than a pit viper's. To put that into digits, just 1 gram of it could easily kill 80 healthy people. It was discovered in 2015, and this rare species prefers to keep a low profile in the wild. But if you ever come across one, take the hint. Nature gave it built-in weapons for a reason. So in the animal kingdom, size is definitely not a factor when it comes to fight or flight. Number 14, blue-ringed octopus. The blue-ringed octopus is one of the ocean's smallest but most lethal predators. Its venom is 1,000 times more powerful than cyanide, and just one bite carries enough toxin to kill 26 people within minutes. There's no antidote, no real warning, and once symptoms start, survival depends entirely on getting artificial respiration until the venom wears off. There are 4 species of blue-ringed octopus, all small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, yet capable of delivering a neurotoxin that causes complete paralysis and respiratory failure. They normally stay camouflaged, blending into their surroundings, but when threatened, their electric blue rings appear as a last warning. They are not aggressive, but they don't need to be. A single mistake, like picking one up, can be the last one you ever make. If you're in shallow waters near reefs or tide pools, stay alert, because this octopus doesn't give second chances. Number 13, black mamba. The black mamba is not just deadly, it is one of the fastest and most feared snakes in the world. Reaching speeds of up to 12.5 miles per hour, it can outrun most people, and once it strikes, the clock starts ticking. A single bite can inject enough venom to kill a human within 20 minutes, and without treatment, fatality is almost guaranteed. These snakes are highly alert, incredibly fast, and dangerously unpredictable. They don't just bite once, they bite multiple times in quick succession, delivering a massive dose of neurotoxin with each strike. Even worse, each fang contains between 12 and 20 drops of venom, but it only takes 2 drops to kill a person. Despite their reputation, black mambas don't attack without reason. They prefer to escape when possible, but if cornered, they will not hesitate. If you ever cross paths with one, back away, quickly and carefully, because in a fight with a black mamba, there's no second round. Number 12, geography cone snail. A snail might not sound like something to worry about, but the geography cone snail proves that size means nothing when it comes to danger. Found in Indo-Pacific reefs, this 6-inch long marine predator packs a venom cocktail with over 10,000 active compounds, making it the most venomous cone snail on Earth. Its hunting method? It fires a tiny harpoon-like tooth straight into its prey, injecting a neurotoxin so potent that it can shut down the nervous system in minutes. The best part? There's no anti-venom. If stung, the only treatment is keeping the victim alive until the toxins wear off, which is easier said than done. There have been at least 15 recorded deaths from cone snail stings in the last 30 years, and that number is probably higher due to unreported cases. Moral of the story? If you see a beautiful shell in a coral reef, resist the urge to pick it up. It might just be the last thing you ever touch. Number 11. Saddleback caterpillar. Most people look at caterpillars and think they are harmless, but that is because most people have never met the saddleback caterpillar. This cute, tiny, neon green creature looks innocent at first glance, but it is loaded with venomous spines that can turn a simple touch into a painful nightmare. These spines embed themselves deep into the skin, breaking off on contact and releasing venom that can cause burning pain, swelling, hives, blood clotting issues, and even hemorrhaging. They are found across the eastern United States, from Florida to New York, and as far west as Texas. The worst part is that they are ridiculously easy to miss. Their bright green bodies blend perfectly with leaves, making them almost invisible until it is too late. Some people compare the pain of a sting to a wasp attack, but worse and much longer lasting. If you see a weird, spiky caterpillar on a leaf, do yourself a favor, walk away. All right, guys, now let's talk about Number 10. Pfeffer's flamboyant cuttlefish. The Pfeffer's flamboyant cuttlefish might look like an underwater light show, but those flashing colors are not for decoration. They're a warning. When calm, it blends into its surroundings with a dull brown hue. But if threatened, it switches to an electric display of black, white, yellow, and bright red, pulsing across its body like a living hazard sign. And that warning? It's not an empty threat. This cuttlefish carries toxic muscle tissue, making it one of the few poisonous cephalopods in the world. Its toxins are so potent that some scientists believe they rival the venom of the infamous blue-ringed octopus. Despite its deadly defenses, it doesn't use venom to hunt. It prefers to ambush small fish and crustaceans with its lightning-fast tentacles. If you ever see one, enjoy the show from a distance, because this is one ocean creature you do not want to mess with. Number 9. Poison dart frog. For something only 2 inches long, the poison dart frog, Dendrobatidae, has no business being this deadly. These tiny, vibrantly colored amphibians are some of the most toxic creatures on the planet, and one species, the golden poison dart frog, carries enough venom to kill 10 grown men. The secret behind their toxicity? Their diet. These frogs absorb poison from their food, ants, centipedes, and mites, storing it in their skin as a lethal defense mechanism. This process, known as dietary toxicity, makes them deadly to anything that dares to take a bite. Their bright colors serve as a warning, a defense strategy called aposematic coloration that screams, "I am not worth the risk." Predators learn quickly that a meal that fights back with venom isn't worth it. If these frogs were any less toxic, they'd probably be someone's lunch. Number 8. Red lionfish. The red lionfish is proof that not everything pretty is harmless. With its striped body and long, flowing fins, it looks like something straight out of an aquarium commercial. But underneath all that gorgeous beauty, it's carrying a set of venomous spines that can wreck your day. Native to the Indian and South Pacific Oceans, lionfish have invaded the Caribbean and the southeastern U.S., and they're multiplying fast. Their venom is strong enough to cause excruciating pain, difficulty breathing, and even paralysis. The real troublesome part? There's no anti-venom. The only treatment is soaking the wound in hot water and waiting for the pain to pass, which, if you ask anyone who's been stung, feels like an eternity. Not only are these fish dangerous, but they're also wiping out native fish species, making them an environmental disaster. If you ever see one while diving, just remember, it doesn't belong there, and neither do you. Number 7. Gila monster. You'd think lizards would be the least of your worries in the venom department, but these beasts are built differently. They don't just bite and let go like snakes. They lock down like a damn vice grip and chew their venom in. That's right. Chew. If that's not personal, I don't know what is. This thick, slow-moving tank of a lizard can grow up to 22 inches long and wears a pattern of bold pinks and oranges over jet black. almost like nature is screaming at you to leave it alone. But if you ignore the warning and get bitten, good luck. The venom is as toxic as that of a western diamondback rattlesnake and causes excruciating burning pain, nausea, and skyrocketing blood pressure. Fortunately, Gila monsters aren't out here hunting people. They'd rather be left alone, but if you make the mistake of messing with one, it will make sure you regret it. Number 6. Flower urchin. If sea urchins weren't already spiky underwater nightmares, the flower urchin, Toxopneustes pileolus, is here to make things worse. This thing doesn't just stab you, it grabs and injects venom. It literally has tiny claw-like flowers that snap shut like a trap when anything touches them, injecting toxins that can stop your muscles from working. The effects? Intense pain, difficulty breathing, total muscle paralysis, which, if you're in deep water, is basically a death sentence. Divers have actually drowned after brushing against these things because they lost control of their limbs. And the best part? They're nearly impossible to spot, blending perfectly into the reef, waiting for an unlucky foot to land on them. If you ever go diving in the Indo-Pacific, pay attention to where you step, because one wrong move near a flower urchin might turn your swim into a last breath. Number 5. Stonefish. Nature really went all out with the stonefish. It looks exactly like a rock, sits motionless on the ocean floor, and delivers one of the most excruciatingly painful stings on the planet if you step on it. It's not exactly the kind of surprise you want on vacation. Hidden among reefs and coastal waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, stonefish are masters of disguise, and their sharp dorsal spines inject venom on contact. The pain? Off the charts brutal. Victims describe it as worse than being stabbed or burned alive, with pain spreading throughout the entire limb in minutes. If that isn't enough, the venom can also cause paralysis, tissue death, and even heart failure. Surviving a stonefish sting is possible, but it will not be fun. If you're wading through shallow reefs, watch where you step, because stepping on a stonefish means signing up for hours of pure suffering. Number 4. Redback spider. Australia does not play around when it comes to venomous creatures, and the redback spider, or in difficult words, Latrodectus hasselti, is just another reason to be extra careful where you put your hands. Also known as the Australian black widow, this spider loves to set up shop in sheds, junk piles, outdoor toilets, and anywhere else humans think they're safe. Its bite is extremely painful and attacks the nervous system, causing severe pain, muscle spasms, nausea, and vomiting. If untreated, symptoms can last for days, making every movement a living nightmare. More than 250 bites require anti-venom treatment each year, proving that these spiders aren't just creepy, they're a real problem. Unlike most spiders that prefer to run, redbacks will hold their ground if they feel cornered. If you live in Australia, always check before reaching into dark places, because there's a good chance something's waiting for you. Number 3. Russell's viper. Russell's viper is not just any venomous snake. It is one of the deadliest in the world. Every year in India alone, thousands of people lose their lives to this viper's bite, making it responsible for a significant number of the 58,000 snakebite deaths recorded annually. The reason this snake is so lethal is simple. Its venom is an absolute nightmare, and it thrives in areas where humans live and work. Farmers unknowingly step near them in paddy fields, and by the time they realize what's happened, the damage is already done. A bite from this viper triggers severe internal bleeding, kidney failure, and organ damage. Anti-venom is available, but many victims are in rural areas where medical treatment is hard to reach. Some still turn to traditional healers instead of hospitals, making survival even more unlikely. This is not a snake you want to mess with. Number 2. Sydney funnel web spider. Australia is already known for its terrifying wildlife, and the Sydney funnel web spider only makes that reputation worse. Unlike most spiders that prefer to avoid confrontation, this one does the exact opposite. If it feels threatened, it rears up, bares its fangs, and attacks without hesitation. And if that wasn't bad enough, male Sydney funnel web spiders are even deadlier than females, carrying a venom so potent it can kill a human in just 15 minutes. The venom works fast, shutting down the nervous system, causing convulsions, breathing failure, and total loss of muscle control. Luckily, no one has died since anti-venom was introduced in the 1980s, but that doesn't mean a bite from this spider is something you want to experience. If you ever see one standing its ground, legs raised, fangs exposed, take the hint and just stay away. Number 1. Brazilian wandering spider. If there is one spider you never want to wake up next to, it is the Brazilian wandering spider. Unlike most spiders that build webs and wait, this one is always on the move, hunting, hiding, and showing up in places where it definitely should not be, like banana shipments, shoes, and even people's beds. It is one of the most venomous spiders in the world, and when it bites, the effects are brutal. The venom is designed to shut down the nervous system, causing intense pain, convulsions, heart issues, and in some cases, hypothermia. But the most bizarre symptom? Uncontrollable, painful erections. That is not a joke. Scientists have even studied its venom for potential medical treatments. Deaths from these spiders are rare, but that does not mean you should take them lightly. If you ever find a Brazilian wandering spider hiding in your shoe or fruit bowl, just know, it's already won that fight. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.